Hello, my dear friends. Today, I want to share with you a story that's both sweet and a little surprising. It's about the moment when Alex suddenly felt a touch of jealousy after seeing a strange man appear in the small house I share with my little one. But behind that jealousy was a heartwarming surprise filled with love enough to make anyone's heart skip a beat. Could this be the moment that makes Alex look at me and baby Henry with new eyes, softer, more caring, more full of appreciation? Stay with me until the very end of this story to find out. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell to support me, so I'll have even more motivation to bring you heartfelt videos like this one. Now then, let's get started. Alex took slow steps forward. The sound of his shoes hitting the wooden floor echoed heavily, each beat pounding straight into Tuna's chest. The strange man was still holding Henry, smiling, faintly, seemingly unaware of the cold, sharp gaze fixed on him. "Give Henry to me." Alex's voice was low and rough, but every word came out clear and firm, leaving no room for doubt. The air grew tense. Tuna quickly moved closer, her trembling hand gently touching Alex's arm, her eyes pleading. "Alex, you've got it wrong." But Alex didn't answer. His eyes stayed locked on the other man. In them was a mix of jealousy and a deep fear of losing everything, as if even 1 second too late would mean losing it all, Tuna and Henry. The man bent down slightly, handing Henry back to Alex. His expression was calm, almost unreadable. When Alex's arms closed around the child, a wave of warmth rushed in, tangled with pain he couldn't hide. Henry nestled his head against Alex's chest, innocent and unaware of the storm raging around him. Holding the boy tighter, Alex's eyes glistened as he turned to Tu. "Nah, do you know, the moment I see Henry in someone else's arms, it feels like I've lost the whole world." Tuna froze. In that silence, her heart trembled. Moved by the tenderness, yet shaken by the storm brewing inside the man before her, Alex turned around, and the cold look in his eyes made Tuna's heart ache. He didn't say much, just let out a short, heavy line. "You really let me down, Tuna." His voice wasn't loud, but it carried weight. Tuna lowered her head, her heart racing. A powerful CEO, always calm and in control in the business world, now looked upset, almost sulking like a child because of her. Yet within that anger was a very real sense of hurt. And that alone made her heart suddenly feel warm. He's jealous. That means he cares. It means in that proud heart of his, there's still a place for me and Henry too. Na thought, her lips trembling with emotion. Alex picked Henry up and held him tightly in his strong arms. His face slowly softened, and in a low, steady voice, he whispered to the boy, "Henry, you're everything to me. I won't let anyone take your mom away from us." The little boy giggled, his tiny hands patting Alex's cheek as if to soothe the storm inside him. Standing beside them, Tuna watched, overwhelmed by emotions she couldn't quite name. Tears slipped down her face, not out of sadness, but happiness. In that moment, she realized after all the anger, after all the doubts, Alex's love for her and Henry was still sincere, still powerful, like the deep waves beneath the ocean's surface. The atmosphere in the small house was both tense and tender, leaving anyone watching unable to look away, just waiting to see what Tuna would say. to calm the storm in Alex's heart once and for all. Tuna took a deep breath, gathering all her courage. Her eyes shimmering with emotion looked straight at Alex. His name is Adam. He's the one who helped me and Henry during the hardest days. When we had nowhere else to go, he was the one who brought us to Mrs. Tang's house so we could have a home to survive. Her words were hesitant but sincere, each one falling into the heavy silence that filled the room. Alex froze. The anger and hurt in his eyes just moments ago suddenly faltered. The jealousy that had flared so strongly was instantly cooled, as if a bucket of cold water had been poured over it. He turned his face away to hide his unease, but the redness in his ears betrayed his embarrassment. For a brief moment, the proud CEO's heart trembled. The man who always kept everything under control now looked clumsy because he had misunderstood too quickly. His eyes dropped quietly to Henry in his arms, as if searching for something steady to hide his shame behind. Tuna remained silent, watching him. In that rare moment, she didn't see a cold CEO, but a man who was real vulnerable and afraid of losing her. That fleeting weakness made her heart tighten, filled with both tenderness and the urge to draw closer. The tension in the room softened, yet a fragile distance still lingered, leaving the audience wondering, would Alex let go of his jealousy, or would he find a way to prove to Tuna that he is the only one she and Henry will ever need? Alex stayed silent for a long time. The only sound in the room was Henry's soft breathing in his arms. Then, unexpectedly, Alex stepped closer to Tuna. His eyes no longer burned with anger. Instead, they showed a mix of embarrassment and tenderness. He lowered his head, his deep voice trembling slightly. "I'm sorry, Tuna. I was too quick to judge. It's just that I'm afraid of losing you. Afraid that one day you and Henry won't be here with me anymore." Tuna froze, her heart tightening. Those words, though simple, carried all the sincerity Alex had been hiding behind his cold exterior. She smiled faintly, her eyes wet with tears. "You fool. Henry and I have never left you." In that moment, Alex couldn't hold back any longer. He pulled Tuna into his arms, hugging her tightly, as if to make up for every misunderstanding that had just passed. Outside, the wind stirred softly, but inside the small house, their hearts had finally found peace. Henry suddenly let out a laugh, his tiny hands patting Alex's cheeks, as if sealing their bond as a complete family. Alex smiled, leaning down to whisper in his son's ear, "Henry, from now on, I won't let anyone or anything come between us." Tuna looked up at Alex, and in her eyes was not only happiness, but also trust, a silent promise of the future. At that moment, anyone watching would feel pulled in by the unexpected sweetness after the storm, wondering, is this the beginning of a love that will last forever? Or does fate still have more trials waiting ahead? After hearing Tuna's explanation, Alex cleared his throat awkwardly, then suddenly smiled. He sat Henry on his lap and said softly, "Henry, I bought you some new clothes. It's a gift I've been saving for a long time. I just want you to grow up happy with only the best in life." Tuna's eyes trembled for a moment. Those simple words, carrying so much heart, made her feel a warmth she couldn't explain. Henry giggled, reaching his tiny hands toward the package Alex had brought his innocence, making the moment even sweeter. Night fell. The warm glow of the yellow light filled the small kitchen. Tuna and Alex stood side by side, preparing dinner together. He, a CEO used to lavish banquets, was now clumsy with a knife, even nicking his finger once, which made Tuna burst out laughing. "Let me do it. If you keep this up, you won't have any fingers left tomorrow," she teased gently. Alex looked at her, the corner of his lips curling into a smile, his eyes full of affection. "I'd rather lose the whole world than ever lose your smile, Tuna." In that moment, it felt like time stopped. Their breaths mingled in the quiet, broken only by the soft sounds of cooking and the golden light wrapping around them. A simple meal, yet it became the happiest memory. Tuna lifted her head, watching Alex fumble his way through the stove, and her heart stirred. For the first time, she could truly feel that behind the armor of a cold CEO was a warm, genuine heart slowly opening up just for her and Henry. Was this the beginning of a real home? Or were there still storms ahead, waiting to test the fragility of their love?
Tham ra khỏi căn phòng ngoài kia, bóng đêm buông xuống, cùng bên bờ